Why would you want to reverse aging? Besides the fact that you would look really hot. Okay. Because when you reverse aging, you're going to have more energy, more strength, more vitality, and more ability to not only enjoy your life, but to also go out and do the things of the kingdom. That's what Psalm 110 says. That on the day that Jesus makes his enemies footstool under his feet is the day that the army of God, that's us, volunteers freely because they're clothed with the dew of his youth. Look, you can't volunteer freely to be up all night for prayer meetings, go out and pray for hundreds of people and lay hands on them and disciple people after they come into the faith. If you're old, tired, crippled, worn out, you can't do it. We need to have our youth restored so that we can volunteer freely in that day when Jesus puts these enemies of his under his feet like a footstool. And the way we can do it is because we'll be clothed, quote, with the dew of his youth, Psalm 110. All right? No. So let's look at that. Psalm 80, verse 3, the Passion Translation says this: revive us, O God, let your beaming face shine upon us with the sunrise rays of glory. Then nothing will be able to stop us. Nothing. Right now, we're getting stopped from serving. We're getting stopped from enjoying our life with our grandkids and our spouses and our families. We're getting stopped from carrying out missions. We're getting stopped from going into prisons because we're tired. We're crippled. We're diseased. We're hurt. We're old. But when God revives us, as this scripture in Psalm 83 says, and lets his beaming face shine upon us with sunrise rays of glory, nothing will be able to stop us. Now, check this out. Those words revive us there, guess what? They mean this, according to Brown, Drivers, and Briggs. Let's look at that graphic right now. According to that lexicon, it means this: to come back to life. Of human dust. Well, that's us. We're made of human dust. Okay? To be revived or have revival from death, to restore and repair. Look, you're going to come back to life when God's beaming face shines upon you, and nothing will be able to stop you because you're going to come back. You're going to turn back. You're going to get younger. You're going to get more energetic. Now, check this out. I love this. That word, the word revive there is used in that Psalm 80 verse 3 scripture. It's the Hebrew word shob, and it also means this. Let's look at what shob means. Okay, check this out. It means to return to a physical condition, to a state or course of life. Now keep that graphic up there. To return to a physical condition. Wow. If you get revived by the God's beaming face shining down upon you with sunrise rays of glory, you're going to return to what? Your original physical condition when you were youthful and you were strong. Now notice, it says you're going to return to the state or course of life, and it uses Job 33:25 as its reference. That's Brown, Drivers, Briggs. They use Job 33:25 as the reference. Let's check out. God, you can't make this stuff up. This is the reference to that word. It means this: then the man's flesh shall be restored. It shall become fresher and more tender than a child's, and he shall return to the days of his youth. Job 33:25. Oh my gosh. So it is in the Bible. Yes, it is God's will for you. This is not being vain or anything else. It is God's will for your flesh to be restored, and that it would become fresher and more tender than his child's, and for you to return to the days of your youth. You know, that scripture comes right after Job 33, them talking about a man who was being inflicted by death, and that his flesh was actually wasted away, and he was so aged and diseased and distorted that his flesh was actually clinging to his bones. All right. Wow. That's why, but here God said, wow, I'm going to now return you to the days of your youth. That's why in that Psalm 83, where it says, revive us, O God. Let's go back to that again. Revive us, O God. Let your beaming face shine upon us with sunrise rays of glory. Then nothing will be able to stop us. When you look at the King James of that, instead of it saying, revive us, O God, it says, turn us back, O God. Meaning, Turn us back. Turn back time. Turn us back to the days of our youth, God. Turn us back to the days of our youth. And guess what? When we sit in the presence of Jesus, that's what makes it happen. Jesus, his light, causes our flesh to become fresher than a child. It turns us back to the days of our youth. Look at that whole scripture that we just read in Job 33. Check it out, okay? It's Job 33, 24 through 25. You're going to see the scripture that comes right before the promise of God causing your flesh to be fresher than a child's. It says this, then God is gracious to him, meaning the man whose flesh was wasted away and clinging to his bones. And he says, deliver him from going down into the pit of destruction. I have found a ransom. What's that? A ransom, a price of redemption and atonement. God said he'd found a ransom, a price of redemption and atonement for that man whose flesh was eaten away. And then it says his flesh became fresher than a child's and he returned to the days of his youth. Who was that ransom? Who was that atonement? Who was that price of redemption? Is Jesus Christ, the light of the world, the light being the outraying radiance of the divine who puts the perfect image and imprint of God on you. Wow.